keep in line with you.
Titans Global. Let's go. Started with a vision, two voices in the mix. Max and Link together, building something that'll stick. Every episode we drop, yeah, we're reaching new heights. Titans Global on the map, burning bright every night. From the first recording session to the fans that tune in, we've been grinding every day, yeah, we're destined to win. Titans Global, that's the name, that's the brand, we the fans, speaking truth through the microphone, messages that we send. Titans Global, that's the movement. Titans Global, feel the power. Titans Global, we keep pushing. Titans Global, this our hour. Titans Global, Max and Link. Titans stronger than you think. Titans Global, that's the way. Titans Global, every single day.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I'm your host, Maximus Titan Fan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Link. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys? Good to be here. Good people. Got people below me here. A lot of special guests tonight. A lot going on. We're going to get right into it, but first, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, get in the comment section. Big names on tonight. You got questions? This is the guy to answer them. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, man, I don't want to waste any more time. Thank you so much, Turron, for coming on the show. Everybody, Turron Davenport is with us tonight. Scoob. Yep, what's up, brother? Let's jump right into it. I'm sorry, I have a question that I want answered. It's a two-part question, I guess. What about Cam's season gives you the most hope he is the future, and what are the things that worry you?
Yeah, I think the ball security has been something that was an area of concern, but he's kind of shored that up more recently. As far as the promise and hope, it really is just down to just the way that he's weathering this whole storm. Most rookies or most quarterbacks, period, like this would be a really tough time for them, and you will see them get frustrated and things like that. And I think he's done a really good job of just progressing despite everything that's regressing around him. And you look at the last two games, especially the Seahawks game, there just was a level of comfort that he seemed to have, a calming presence that he seemed to have, and just the ability to keep going in the midst of all the pressure and everything that he was under. I mean, guys were coming at him. And I know his time to throw was like 3.03 seconds, but a lot of that was because he was making that quick decision to flee the pocket somewhat or move within the pocket and died into run. A lot of signs of progress with him. And as Mike McCoy said, he made that step. He showed that he can make plays with his legs.
Yeah, I love how you talked about that yesterday. I also agree very much with the fact that I really didn't see that much in college, so didn't think it was a huge part of his game, but I love how he's kind of interweaved that into his game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he ran in college, but again, you know, he's not somebody you're going to consider a dual threat quarterback, but he knows how to move within the pocket, and he can scramble the pass, and that's something he specializes in.
All right, Link, you have a question for him?
Yeah, I want to kind of build something off that, and then I got one more kind of quick question for you. So with doing those rollouts, with getting Cam in space, put him in situations not necessarily to use his legs down the field, but around the pocket. do you feel like that hurry up offense, putting him in those situations, has been lacking towards the end of these games? I mean, like just this last week, towards the end, I'm thinking you go down, you score a quick touchdown, you put your defense on the field and get the ball back. They chose to rely on that onside kick, which is, not very probabilistic. So, I mean, does this coaching staff, do you think they see that? Because where he's good, he's really good. But I just don't feel like they're playing to his strengths to this point in the season.
Yeah, it just seems like the sense of urgency. I mean, that's going to be for anybody, right? The game's on the line. There's the sense of urgency is always going to up, and that's why oftentimes you'll see teams go to tempo, right? Because to create just that. As far as Cam's concerned, I think the better thing, and they're starting to do it, the play action. You look at that 3rd and 3 earlier in the game where he rolled to his right and he hit Chig on the play action. They booted him to the right, and Chig was going left to right, and he hit him, and it was like a 25-yard gain. You look at the first play of the game against the Texans, right? It's play action, and it's a quick shot to Calvin Ridley. Of course, that yielded a season-ending injury for Ridley, but the fact of the matter is they're using play action more. And I wrote about that actually going into the Texans game. And it's an area where he's just better. And he's a quarterback that, he's – I told Nick Suss in the media room today, his game, like you approach him the way you approach a painter, right? Like you don't tell the painter exactly what to paint, but you just ask him to paint you a masterpiece. And he does that. And I think that's really what you have. And then you have the off-schedule stuff and he and Restrepo, connecting on that throw. He's rolling to his right. And it was Doug Flutie-esque, a jump pass across his body to the left. Restrepo goes up and gets it. So, yeah, I think not only more tempo, but more play action. And I still would encourage them to mix in the RPOs.
Yeah, and people have to remember, too, you don't have a Derrick Henry in the backfield. For that play action to work, you've got to have a threat of the run game. That's something the Titans have struggled with. But as the lines got better, more cohesive, you now see that play action start to take shape. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I had, man. Appreciate that.
And, the play action, it's definitely going to work better with a Derrick Henry. But I tell you, the thing is, the play action is always going to work because it's always going to move. It's going to move defenders. Because as a defender, you're trained so much to stop run first. So it's a real good way to get a linebacker off his mark and maybe have him take a step or two forward with a, route, a strike or whatever, filling right in where he left off.
Right. Yeah. And Cam's progress, I think, is something that is obviously getting better. Over the last 2 weeks, he's faced the number 1, number 7 defense, and he's come out with, I think, 52 for 79, 450 yards, 70 rushes, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So really happy with his progress, especially playing the last 2 weeks and the impact that he's had over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think is the young player that's kind of caught your eye other than Ward?
I mean, you can't not say Jim Dike. That's low-hanging fruit. But I'm going to go a different route, and I'm going to say Cedric Gray. And I think, when you look at Cedric Gray, I told him in the locker room, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, man, like it's like you have something in your chest, like a built-in GPS to find the football. Because he always finds it. He's always around the ball. And I love the violence that he plays with. And actually, for WKRN, so we do a 2-minute. It always goes over 2 minutes because I like talking to the guys, so I sneak in extra questions. But it's supposed to be a 2-minute drill, and we talked about how he's such a cool, calm, collective guy off the field, but he gets on the field, man, and becomes a maniac. And I thought that that was a good question to ask him. And he just said like there's just a switch that is flipped and. He doesn't know, but he goes out there and he plays like that.
He does seem to be around the ball every single time.
Magnet.
Yep.
Yeah. And his tackles are, his total tackles are ridiculous right now. He might actually hit the record.
I think he's like third. Yeah, I think he's like third. And it was interesting because, he cracked 100 against the Texans, and you had Azeez Al-Shire who, has 163, and that's the record. And then Stephen Tulloch was the legend of the game, and he had 160. And in some circles, Tulloch has a record, and others, Al-Shire does. But either way, he cracked 100 where both of those guys were there.
Yeah, yeah, I love it, man. I absolutely love Cedric Gray and the young play we've got from those guys. What do you think our weakest position is, other than the defensive backs, which I think is the most obvious answer?
Yeah. Man, what area could use the most improvement? Um, you want to look at the edge rushers, and right now, like with Femi being out, that's tough. I actually ran into Femi today. The Titans, and shout out to Titans, man. They gave away 100 turkeys at the YMCA over there. I guess that's North Nashville. Yeah, over there by Renewal House, the YMCA there. 100 turkeys, man. But I ran into Femi there, so seeing him was pretty cool. But nevertheless, I think this edge group could use the biggest boost. I think improving that would defensively help out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, so to kind of build off that, like real quick. So I know it's way too early to talk draft, but it's not every day we got you on here. So going into this offseason, is that if let's say they trade back hypothetically, you've got 2 first-round picks, hypothetically. Is it edge rusher, receiver? Is that the 2 positions you're going for automatically in the draft? I know it depends who's available and that type of thing, but in an ideal world.
yeah, I think so. And I did a mock draft on I'm sorry, I'm getting a text message at the same time. I did a mock draft on the Jake and TD show, or actually that's what we used to call it, on Next Man Up with Jake Lyman, and on Thursday, and someone had called and they said you get the 2 picks, so trading with the Jets, I think it was 4 and 28. So what I ended up doing was at 4, I drafted Arvell Reese, and then at 28, I went ahead and got Mekhi Lemon, and then I added pick number 33 because he only asked me about the first round. I was like, well, let's go ahead and go to 33 too, and I grabbed Colton Hood. And so I say all that to say, I think the way it falls out, I would go with the top edge rusher first, provided that it's not going the 5th best edge rusher against the 2nd best receiver. You see what I'm saying? Like, you always want to look at your board horizontally.
Absolutely.
So you don't reach.
Right.
But because it's such a need, a top five edge rusher is going to have a little more value, in my opinion. Also because this organization hasn't drafted an edge guy since Derek Morgan. You know what I mean? So we're talking a long time ago. And then on top of that, it just seems to me that more of your dominant edge rushers, that's a position where you got to grab it top 20 in order to get a guy. Sure, there's Trey Hendrickson's out there. There's Max Crosby's out there who, nobody thought was going to be good. Most people didn't. I had him on Talking with TD, by the way, and the Titans never even talked to him in the draft process, which amazed me. But nevertheless, edge is the way I would go, wisely though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Let me ask you a question, TD. So even though we're 1 and 10, I still see 4 guys on this team that have an opportunity to be all pro, and that's Gray, Jeffrey Simmons, Peter Skoronsky, and Dike. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I we'll see if Gray. I don't think Gray gets the all pro. I think like all pro, Pro Bowl, those are the ones where like you got to have a couple years. You know what I mean?
Right.
offensive line, Skoronski to me, I told him the other day, he's one of the best players on the team, and he's someone that you don't mention because he just consistently does his job.
Exactly.
That's a compliment to offensive linemen. DK, if he's not all pro, the system's just messed up
Right. That's how I feel
because he's
too.
leading the league in all-purpose yards. He's leading the
Yeah.
league in return yards. And yeah, I know he's gotten 1,000,001 opportunities because of all the touchdowns teams are scoring against them, but still he's
Right.
making the most of those opportunities, and
I mean, he has an
he's
opportunity
the
to
best
break the
returner right
record
now.
too, right?
Which record?
The all-purpose record for all-purpose yards or whatever.
I Not that I know of, but I mean it wouldn't surprise me because the dude
Right.
is just like he's really good, man, and you're starting to see him crack through on the receiving side of things. Like it's
And he should
it's
have
really
4.
cool to see it.
Yeah, I'll say this
Yeah,
too. Most people know that he's the NFL all-purpose yards leader. Most people don't know that the number 2 guy on that list is Jonathan Taylor, and he sits at 1465, which is 295 yards behind Chimere Dike, which to
yeah.
me is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, DK is getting a lot more opportunities, because he's doing return work and receiver work, but still,
Right.
True.
it's he's got to be all pro.
Yeah, I
He
agree,
better
man.
be.
And man, I think I've almost blazed through all the questions that I had for you. That's crazy. I thought that was going
I
to
thought
take
I
off.
saw a couple questions in the
Yeah,
chat there.
I thought that was a good one right here. Do you think that Cam is the best quarterback in last year's draft? And I would answer that, yeah, because I was happy when they drafted him number 1. That's who I wanted all along. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. But I mean, I think that's up to debate for at least 3 years after the draft. But what's your
yeah,
take on
yeah.
that?
I mean, it's up for debate, but I think Cam is the most promising one. I still remain. I really like Shador. You know what I mean? But I think Cam is the most promising and the most upside. Jackson Dart, he came in and he gave moxie, and he'll run the ball for you. They misused him, but those 3 guys. It's going to be interesting watching that whole thing play out.
Do you feel like Cam was dropped into the worst situation out of those 3? Like, I know Shadur's being picked where he was. Obviously, that's not what was expected. But from a system standpoint, a franchise standpoint, I mean, do you think Cam kind of got the worst end of the stick out of those?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's debatable. I think out of the 3 guys, Dart got the best
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
situation.
And you see
But
that it working in the system. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, like Shador has a head coach that just didn't want to play him.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 Which is
So
I
it's
agree
just
with
hard
that.
to at least this organization, like they hey Cam, we want
Yeah.
you to be the guy. Like that's what they're saying.
Right.
But in Cleveland, it's like, damn, we got
Dylan
no
Gabriel
choice. Now we
played
got to
before.
play you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good question. What do you think about running Pollard in front of, or Spears in front of Pollard? I said that backwards.
Yeah, I think the juice that Spears brings is definitely something that's
Mhm.
different. I would absolutely be for that. It's just you got to make sure that Spears can stay healthy. That's just, and
Right.
I mean, you can't make sure of that. So let me take that back. You got to hope that he can stay healthy and handle that workload if you're going to increase it. But you see the juice that he brings, man. Like he's a player that's very exciting to watch, and I'm just curious over like the larger amount of carries and touches, how much
Can
more
he
that
handle
would
it?
show up.
Do you think they look at running back in this draft? Or do they see what Khalil Mullins has going into next year? Like, do you think that's an option if we get into the 5th round that they look at a running back?
Yeah, I think it's an option.
Okay.
Teams always draft running backs and they sign
Right.
them undrafted. It's one of those positions where every year you have a bunch of them flowing into the league.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you think Pollard lost a step this year, or is it just
Yeah,
scheme
no,
that's not working correctly?
he clearly lost a step, but the scheme also. He still
Because I
runs
feel like
hard,
this,
but I
the
just
running scheme has just not been great this year for our running backs.
yeah, a part of it is due to that. But you know, how many times do you see where it's like, man, one guy would have got the block, like darn it, Zeitler, why did you miss? You know what I mean, or whatever.
Right.
You know, I think that's had its share of times too.
Yeah, so before we get off the offense, or mainly off the offense, I wanted to say Helm came into this game. He's been steadily increasing his snaps and targets throughout the season, but this game he had the most targets out of anybody. He had the most catches out of anybody. I thought he played a really solid game, and it looks like he's becoming kind of a favorite target for Cam Ward. So, and I really enjoy the way that they're using him. Obviously he's not a Chig, a Conquo. He's not that fast, but I don't know. I like Helm a lot. He's a big body, good blocker, good catcher. I don't really see anything that's negative to really say about him yet.
Yeah, I mean, he caught 6 of the 7 targets. I think he's now up to like, I don't know, 26 out of 36 or something like that. 26 out of 32, I think it is. But I mean, like, he's a very reliable player. And I think we look at the ability to find windows and zone. He does a great job with that. And he's a guy, like, you look at the catch. He made a really tough catch against the Texans a couple weeks ago. And, you know, you look at the catch and run, it was on the 4th down. They didn't get the 1st down, but man, like, he was getting somewhere and he got close to getting it. So yeah, absolutely. Gunnar Helm is a guy I've been talking about, you know, how they should get him more targets for a while now. And it happened this past game. So that was good.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
our rookies are really the only bright spot on the team, besides a few other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, you count Cedric Gray in there. You know, we're talking rookies, man. Marcus Harris. You know, this is a guy that I for the life of me did not understand why he was playing only outside during training camp. I couldn't figure that one out, but I mean now, you know, I think he's fallen in his natural spot, and it's a very athletic guy, right? And a very
Yeah,
fast guy too. And the thing I love about the speed and stuff, and what I thought was good when they drafted him, I'm like, hey man, this gives you that nickel guy that could run with those vertical slot threats. So now you're good there. Now, granted, he may not be the best against the run because he's just not a bigger player, and you know, there are times where he'll get moved out the way, etc. But you know, I think that was a good pick, and he's in his natural spot.
So
yeah,
with
and
the
we thought,
opportunities he's got, sorry, because I gotta know because I get in on here every week and I feel like I mentioned it at some point because of those opportunities he got. Obviously, that's partially due to the Brownlee trade. Help me understand this, Turron, because I'm still a little iffy on how I feel towards this. Looks like he's having a pretty good time where he's at now. So, I mean, what was the disconnect there, in your opinion?
Who with Brownlee?
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah,
obviously he didn't expect to be traded. He's sitting there saying he wants to, watch them lose. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out where that disconnect was
yeah.
between him and his front office.
There were some who said that he decided to put the boot on his foot himself. There were some who said that, you know, he lacked accountability and didn't really take the coaching. But you know, in talking to Denard Wilson, he said he never had an issue with
Right.
Jarvis outside of, obviously, you know, the penalties and stuff that he was racking up. I remember that Thursday before the game that he didn't play. I remember was what, week 3, I think it was. I remember, or week 4, whatever. I remember seeing him though come into the locker room, and he was limping like, I'm talking about, like, every time he took a step, his whole body ducked forward. You know what I mean? Like, it was clear that he was favoring that side of his body. So I don't know that the injury was fake. I don't believe it was, but it was a disconnect between he and the front office, and you know, they felt he had to go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I know we were just talking about it, but and I know this is I'm going to kind of get off the defense now, but we were talking about it pre-show. It's clearly an unpopular conversation between us three. So I'm interested to see how your interpretation of the Xavier Restrepo debut went.
I mean, he did a solid job. I don't think it was anything to say, hey, you got to have him on the roster and this, that, and I look. Everybody loves the underdog story, and this is why Mason Kinsey was popular
Right.
for so long. And I mean, to Kinsey's credit, he worked hard. He got in where he fit in, and Restrepo, you would like to see him make that catch, on the touchdown opportunity. He didn't. Oh well. He still, I think, showed that, hey, this is a guy that could play in the league, and give him a shot. But I don't think it's anything to say, oh, like you absolutely have to. Everybody who passed on him 7 times is idiotic, this, that, and the third.
I agree with that. I'll at least give you that. I just I thought that especially on the play where he scrambled around and found Restrepo in the middle of the field, I felt like that was that connection that everybody was talking about. That is just automatic between them because they know they've played so many games together that they kind of know what each other's going to do. And I don't know. I just feel like it gives Cam a little bit of a safety blanket, I suppose.
I mean, he did the same thing in the home opener week 2 with Aya Manor. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
really, it just comes down to Cam overall having a relationship with the receivers. You look at the throw, look at the no look throw, look at the one that gun, look at the throw to
That was
Gunnar Hill.
sweet.
You know that I talked about. On 4th down. I mean, having Restrepo there, there's definitely a different feel between he and Cam. But I think Cam has developed a good relationship with most of the receivers there.
I'll agree with that. I that's my favorite part about Cam Ward, to be honest, so far. Because I don't have a whole lot of games, I guess, to go off of a
Right.
little bit,
Mhm.
but my favorite part of him is his demeanor, the way he comes in, works hard, the way he casts his interviews, and doesn't seem to pull any punches. He seems to be pretty damn direct about what he wants to say and how he wants to say it, and I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
And I also
yeah,
feel like this is the first week that he actually elevated his players around him.
yeah. I mean, look, I think he's done that other times this season, but this was his best game. And I don't think there's
Yeah,
too much
definitely.
that you could say. I mean, you look at yards, passing yards. It was his second or third highest. You look at completion percentage, is that right around 66%. He was only better, I believe, against the Patriots. He was in the 70s. Um, no turnovers, no turnovers. That's
That's
critical
great.
also. So yeah,
Yeah, and like you said, I think that is the most shaky part of his game is the turnover thing, and it seems like he's gotten a grip over the last 2 weeks on it, or ever since the bye. I'll say that. So
yeah,
I'm really interested in that. But another big part of the game was the aggressiveness of the coaches. I don't know if they finally figured out that they have nothing to lose or what it was, but they finally started going for some fourth downs. Ended up going for I think 7 and got 5 of them, I believe. The point is that I'm happy that the coaching staff is finally saying, let's just see what we got. Some of them were forced and had to, in certain situations, but I think they did it on their opening drive at least once. Um, I don't know if they did it twice or not, but I know they did it once on the opening drive on a 4th and 2, I
mhm,
think it was something like that. I don't know.
mhm.
I'm just appreciating the fact that at least the coaches are figured out that it's time to let everything go.
Yeah, yeah. No, they did a good job with that.
Well, we're right at the middle point of the show. We're going to take a break and give the sponsor a little bit of love. TD, I know you're on a time limit. I'm not trying to keep you around, so if you need to roll, that's cool, man. I really appreciate having you on the show. Um,
Yeah, no, I
Love
appreciate
you,
you guys having me
love you,
on.
TD.
Hey, real quick, do you have a top
Much
3
love.
list on coaches right now? Is there 3 names
Uh,
you're looking at in coaches? Are you interviewing these guys? Are you like the entrance
uh,
exam for these guys?
well, I listen. I was one of the big advocates of Brian Callahan, so
Yeah.
you guys might
Right.
want
I
to have
was
me
too.
sit this one out.
You,
I was too, man. I mean, I'll
hey,
be real.
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, TD. And at the time, I
Yeah,
loved it. At the
exactly,
time, I loved it.
Me too.
exactly. Yep. So, all right. Well, I'll catch up with you guys.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
See you,
thank you
brother.
for coming
See
on.
you
We really
Sunday,
All right.
appreciate
TD.
you,
Appreciate
TD.
it.
All right,
All
man.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Peace. All right, let's give the sponsors a little bit of love.
What's up, Titans fans? Maximus Titan fan here. Are you in need of professional excavation services? Look no further. Red Zone Builders has the expertise, experience, and equipment to handle all or any excavation project, big or small. Whether you need land clearing, site preparation, trenching, foundation excavation, or any other excavation services, they have you covered. Their team of skilled professionals will work diligently to ensure your project is completed safely, efficiently, and to your satisfaction. Trust the experts at Red Zone Builders to get the job done right.
Yeah, man. So, hey, thanks again, TD, for coming on, man. Had a
Yes,
really
sir.
great time. Really appreciate you. I know you're a busy dude. You're probably the busiest man in Titans media. So, again, really appreciate you coming on the show and giving us some love, man.
Yeah,
I'm
so
trying to.
lots to unpack there. I mean, I love a lot of what he said. I think we pretty much agreed. Something he mentioned that I definitely think rings true is this was Cam's best game by
Oh,
far.
absolutely.
And I think that's where you get some of the Restrepo hope coming from because it was his first game starting. Cam has his best game, so it's kind of that glimmer of hope. Did you guys like your thoughts on it to this point in the season? Has this been a successful season for Cam Ward with where we're at right now? I mean, obviously, I know the record, but with Cam
Not
Ward,
right
has
now.
this been okay? Fair
No,
enough.
not
But
yet.
it's
Not yet.
it's
But
kind
we're
of.
getting there. Yeah, we are
Yeah.
getting there, and we're getting there faster than I thought we were.
And I feel
I'll
like
admit that.
TD was on my side with Restrepo.
All right, look.
Hey, we got a few games to go. Let's see what
I was
happens.
going to say, so clearly TD is more on y'all's side than he is on mine. That is for sure. I'm not like, I think as you lovingly put it, hanging on his jock strap, but I do like Restrepo, and I do think that it
No, I
is a
do like
safety
him
net
too.
for Cam, and I think he's just as good or better than Mason Kinsey.
That's
So
what
if
I'm saying.
you
Okay,
have
like
that option, let's keep him in
yeah.
there.
If
Okay,
this
but
dude's
think about what you just said, though.
if this dude's floor is Mason Kinsey, so what? Like that, like. But if his
He's better
ceiling
than our
might be higher,
best. He's better than our best practice squad player.
Dude, look, I hear what you're saying, but NWI made a freaking career off of that.
yes,
Okay, and
100%.
got paid a
100%.
multi-million-dollar contract.
But he was also
so
a third-round pick, right?
I don't
third or fourth.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So,
the
but
answer
that's
to
what
that.
I'm saying. Like, if
Or
this is
fourth
the
round
floor,
or something.
if this is the floor, then like so be it. But if you
Yeah.
think the ceiling might be higher, like why not? Now, in an ideal world, Io Manor's not your number one right now.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like in an ideal world, Io Manor's number two. So you've got a lot of people
Yeah.
playing positions that they may not necessarily be playing next year. You know what I'm saying? So if Restrepo can do enough to earn a spot on this roster to stay on the practice squad, so what if it gets me a little excited on Sunday? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
I
that's
hear
kind of
you.
where I'm at with it. So
That's
with
me.
you saying where we're at this season with Cam Ward, what is the jump you want to see in year two this offseason? What is the jump that you need to see to call this a success?
Go ahead,
I'll
Max.
be
You
honest.
go first.
If I get at least one more game like this and it stays steady, like I don't even care if it plateaus off. If this is the steady part for the rest of the season, I am happy, and I call that a successful season. Now, if we see a major dip in the next couple of weeks, all right, then we're kind of still
Right.
not there yet for me. But I right now in the trajectory that we are going and what we've seen over the last 2 weeks against some of the better defenses in the NFL with a very depleted roster, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty
Right.
happy.
I feel like right now he's on the third step of a 20-foot ladder,
Yeah.
and he's just got to keep
For
climbing
sure.
that ladder. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
eventually he's going to get up there, hopefully. I feel like he has the fortitude and the knowledge to become that player that he wants to be. So it's still
So
wait and see for me.
we were just comparing NWI and Restrepo. I know that's not a real good comparison, but the point is I think it's funny that NWI was not drafted by the Titans
Oh,
because he was an undrafted free agent.
okay.
So I mean, I'm not saying that Restrepo is going to be the number one wide receiver. I'm just saying Restrepo could be the next NWI,
Yeah.
and
If
for the
The other
Titans,
thing
that's
I've
a good
noticed
thing.
about Restrepo is he's small, man.
He is tiny.
He's smaller than Kenzie.
He is
He is a
tiny,
little
and I
bitty
think that's
guy.
why they've been so hesitant to start him is because he's
Yeah,
so
he
tiny.
is.
But he was taking the shot. He took a shot,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
one
just
that
didn't
should have
realize how
been
small
called.
he was until he got out there in the huddle, and I was like, "Holy crap, he
Oh
is a
my
little
God,
dude."
Yeah. He
dude! I
slips
put
through
the
defenses
video
though.
out. I put the video out where he got hit with the crown of the helmet by the
Should
Seahawks
have been a
defender.
penalty.
Yeah, and I said targeting, and
Yes. Also on
everybody was
Cam, that
like,
happened to Cam
"Dude."
too. It should have been a penalty.
Well, they're like, "Dude, there's no such thing as targeting in the NFL." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but in the NFL, it's called use of the helmet.
Right,
If I
helmet
would
to
have said
helmet.
use of the helmet, nobody's going to know what the hell I'm talking about, man. I was just using a blatant term.
Right.
And this is the problem with the internet. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
Right. I hear you.
So if NWI was on this team right now, I know this is super random. If
Oh.
NWI was on this team right now, like is he behind Ironman or is he your number two? Like, do you like? I thought about this right before the show.
No.
Like, do you miss NWI? Like, I don't think so.
No.
Tim
I think
Dike is our number two, man.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
I mean,
But
it's
do you
Iowa
want him
Manor,
to be?
then
But that's the
DK.
thing is, do you want DK to be your number two? Like, that's
Yeah.
my
No.
only fear with DK. That's my only fear with DK. Like, I
No.
would rather him be sprinkled in on offense and primarily special teams.
I don't
just
know,
think
man.
he's more of a weapon
He's making
there.
great plays. He has the
He-
opportunity to be a high level receiver.
I
He-
think Chimere DK could be used in the very same way that Tyreek Hill is used. But I don't know if he is skilled as a person as Tyreek Hill ended up being. So I think that's the level that we're
Man,
at. I
his
think the
field
floor,
vision and the way he moves, man, I'm telling you.
yeah, I
That's
think
why I just
DK's
think he's
floor
a
is like Pac-Man, but
yeah,
his ceiling is
fair.
more like Tyreek Hill. I mean, he could
Yeah.
turn into a Tyreek Hill, but I think his floor, at worst, he's going to be is a Pac-Man Jones, which for me, is freaking amazing. I don't need any more than that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you bringing some excitement back into special
Right.
teams, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Dude, when he caught that and he turned that corner, they were running away from us.
Yeah.
And I seen it. I said, "This is it." And he turned that corner and was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid can see the field so good. It's amazing what that. I don't know, man.
And that's why for me, like, I don't, in an ideal world for me, you've got a bona fide stud in your wide receiver
Yes.
one slot. And I hope that's Iowa Manor. Maybe that's somebody
Well,
may
you-
find this offseason. But that being said, Iowa Manor is my solid number two. And then that puts DK there. So, like, I think you use him on offense to an extent. But with the type of weapon he is on special teams, like, just let that be his bait. Let him perfect that craft and then bring him in on some gadgets with offense. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Because
That's why
I don't
like
want him to be my number two.
if we do get that number one pick and we get the best receiver in college with that number one pick
Yeah.
and let him be the number one guy, and then we'll have whoever it is. A lot of people are saying Tate or whoever. I don't care. Just get the best wide receiver because besides A.J. Brown, we've never had a superstar wide receiver that is actually good. That's not 10 years in their prime. You know,
I am definitely team trade back. I can't see us taking anything at number 1 overall. I just can't.
No,
I get it,
no,
but
I don't think
I just feel
anybody
like
warrants
if we
that.
do trade back and we do lose the opportunity to take the best wide receiver or the best edge rusher, jump on it.
So
You
we
know?
went through this a little bit last year, and again, it is way too early, but we're a
Yeah.
1-10 football team. So
What else we got?
if you do trade back, where are you comfortable? Like, what's the next highest you're comfortable with? Are we talking 5? We talking
That's the
8?
lowest
We
I would
talking
go.
12? 5?
5. I wouldn't go no
I'm-
lower than that.
I'll be honest with you. I'm willing to go down to 12 or 14 even.
I mean, the talent just starts dropping off right there.
I think
agree,
it comes down to
but-
this for me. Can I pick up an extra second? I think if you can you can go higher, like say 12, like Max said, and pick up a second round as well. I think you pull the trigger on that instead of getting one high first round and one mid first round. I'd rather get a mid, a late, and then another second. Is kind of.
I'll say this too. Do you remember a couple years ago? I think it was Carolina when they traded off their first round pick to whoever the hell they traded. Who was it? They traded off. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is they traded off their pick, and it was like a month or two before the draft even happened.
Yeah.
Right.
And everybody knew that, oh, well, and then they still announced it stupidly at the beginning, like Carolina's on the clock. Oh, Carolina's trade the pick to blah, blah, blah. But I think that's the situation we're going to have in Tennessee next year.
Think so?
I think they'll trade the pick before it's even draft day. And
because think about it from an audience standpoint. Who the hell in America? They didn't even show the game in Knoxville.
Thank you.
You telling me some dude in California is turning on the TV waiting to hear what the Titans are going to do with the second first overall pick? Like, nobody gives a crap. They want to talk about Fernando Mendoza versus Ty Simpson and
the hot quarterbacks
they're going to take
always
number one.
number
Exactly.
Number
So nobody, that's not going to happen. I think that deal's done pretty quick. I agree with you on there. But look, if you could tell me that I'm getting 4 to 5 top 50 players versus a 5th overall pick, like, I'm happy with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
they talk about, top 100 players. Let's talk about like 4 to 5 top 50 players. That's what I think this team's in need of.
I agree with that.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't disagree with that. But let's slide off draft just for a few minutes and trying to get this in before the end of the show. But glaze over real quickly. The penalties are still there. Definitely damn disappointing. However, at least this game they weren't like 75% procedural penalties. At least it was like holding and. But yeah, I mean, penalties do. Refs suck. What can I say? It doesn't matter who you are. If you're the Super Bowl winning champion team, you still think the refs suck because they do. It's just the way that it is. And they miss calls, like the use of the helmet call. That was ridiculous. Or the hit on Cam. The late shot out of bounds.
Multiple
there was 2 or 3
grabbing our receivers and not getting them.
I was going to say before the use of the helmet, there was a damn PI on Restrepo, but whatever. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris impressed the shit out of me yesterday.
He played very well.
That kid was like glue, dude. He was on receivers, and it's like TD said. Marcus Harris is not known. He's not going to be the guy, the mouton. He's not going to be the guy that comes down and just drills the running back on a screen or something. That's not him. He's just not. He's a long, lanky
He's a
dude.
cover guy.
There was 2 different times, and one of them was on JSN, where he smacked the ball away. Where if he didn't hit that ball, that's a touchdown. I mean, totally. And he was right there, hip on hip, bro. I mean, hip on hip with JSN, and JSN tore our ass up.
He did, man.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that Marcus was locking him down or anything. All I'm saying is, for a 6th-round draft pick at a
He held
Cal,
his own.
I did not expect this kid to be as good as he was. Everybody was hyping up Winston, and I was definitely had my own way. And Winston didn't play bad. Don't think I'm saying that. But Marcus Harris was the guy that caught my eye. And when you pair him with Kevin Winston, who is the total tackle leader, I got to mention that at some point in the show.
6 solo, 1 TFL too. Very
bro,
impressive from Winston.
Yeah, and Cedric Gray, when you pair those 3 together, you have young building blocks for your defense.
Absolutely.
So I think those are 3 solid players that you can keep your eye on for the rest of the season, to see how they develop throughout the season. Because I'll be honest, if Marcus Harris keeps this level of play up, he should be our number 1 or number 2 cornerback. Period. I don't care if he was drafted in the 6th round.
Yeah, and
stay healthy.
That's the key. Yep, same thing for Winston too. You got to stay healthy, but you're right. If that's the case, these are building blocks. And then, not to literally go right back to the draft, but I thought it was really interesting what Turron said, that you go get a guy like Colton Hood, in that 2nd round, who is that big body, physical, because this team is having to play so much zone right now because they just can't play man to man, because these corners just aren't good enough. That's kind of how I feel. So yeah, I mean, if you spend a 3rd round pick and you got, you got pieces sitting there at 1 and 2, you got Winston at safety, you got Cedric Gray up the middle, you can turn the defense around a lot quicker than I think you can turn the offense around, which sounds a little crazy, but you've locked down Simmons. He's not going anywhere now. You've got Tavondre Sweat, who you hope continues to be a piece. Femi's going to be back. We'll see where Femi's at, but you pair him with another edge rusher. I'm okay with linebacker. You get help on corner. You got Winston at safety. Maybe you do something with Amani Hooker. I don't know how that works out, but I just feel like the defense is a little bit quicker turnaround than the offense.
You brought it up for me. You brought the white elephant in the room up to me right there. Amani Hooker. Can we at least admit that we don't have a free safety on this roster? I mean,
what's crazy
can
is
we not admit at this point?
Yeah.
Can we not admit at this point that Amani Hooker is no better than a strong safety, and that's all he's ever going to be? I was so frustrated with the when they gave him that deal. It was under the understanding that we were going to have actual free safety help, like Woods or Diggs. He's actually a pretty good free safety. But Hooker's not a free safety, man. He's not a Kevin Byard. That's just not what he is. He is a thumper. That's all he loves to do. He loves to hit people, and he can't cover for nothing. So I'm frustrated up to here with Amani Hooker.
I would say my biggest letdowns this season is Arden Key at number 1, and then Amani Hooker as a very, very close second.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
A sack in the last couple games.
Yeah, do it 6 more. I'm telling. I know. I get it. I love Arden Key. I think that when he's on, he's on. I just want to see the consistency. I don't feel like what he's done to this point has warranted.
He's one of the guys that won't be here next year.
Exactly.
No.
Yep. Exactly.
I will say he has impressed me in the last 2 games coming back from injury.
Yeah.
He has played
do it a third
with his hair on fire. But I mean, come on, man. That's 2 games out of the entire season we're talking about. So
right.
Anyway, any last thoughts that anybody has for the show?
Yeah, no, we keep trucking along.
Right, this is Jacksonville Hate Week.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, are we playing the Jaguars this week?
Yes,
I haven't even looked ahead.
At home.
Yep. Yeah, right, going to be interesting. Jacksonville coming off an emotional one. This AFC South is weird. Everybody's still alive. Colts just got edged out in a close one against the Chiefs. They could have put the Chiefs at a losing record, but couldn't close it out. So yeah, going to be an interesting week.
I'm glad the Colts lost.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but have you noticed how happy I've been since you said we're playing the Jaguars next week?
Right?
Look, man, I don't know. I'm going to catch some hate for this, but I don't care. I think the Jaguars and the Colts are so overrated as far as teams, and it's going to be so fun to have a preview show, and hopefully I don't have to eat a whole lot of crow come next Monday.
Right.
Going to be an interesting show
You know how it
Thursday.
is
Oh,
in Jacksonville, though, man. We can either. It's just a crazy game every time.
hey, I guess we need to work out. We need to update everybody. I'm assuming we're not on
yeah.
a Thursday show, so a lot of fun stuff to talk about. I don't know. I guess we'll get a plan together on that.
We
for
did not
everybody.
talk about this actually before the show,
Oh
which
yeah,
we
that's right. It's
probably should
Thanksgiving.
have.
Shit.
So we could either do it. Well, you know what? We'll talk about that after the show, and I'll make
Yeah,
sure and put
we'll
that up
announce
a little
everybody.
early this week,
Absolutely.
so that you can find out whether we're going to be on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to do Thursday because it's Thanksgiving, and that's the day you
probably
hang
not.
out with your fam. But
Yeah.
Right.
I love you guys, but not that
yeah, I
much.
know, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Kidding.
What? Come on, man.
Totally kidding.
I will say this though: if we do it on Friday, we have to talk about what we ate. That's
no
my
problem.
favorite part of Thanksgiving. Is I guess
Hey.
because I'm getting older now, I'm like, man, did you see what old Thelma cooked? Oh, she brought
Right. I bought one of those Dolly Parton chocolate pies.
Oh, the Parton pie.
Ooh.
All right. Heck
Is
yeah.
that made with special milk or?
Don't know. I've never had one. I didn't even know Dolly Parton was making food, and I went to the grocery store and I was like, "What? Dolly Parton chocolate pie?"
That lady's got her hand in everything. Bless her
Oh
heart.
man, I just went back to like the 5th grade. Anyway, thank you for hanging around with us. If you're still with us, we appreciate you. Thank you again for TD coming on the show. We really appreciate that. Everybody,
Thank you for having me always.
Yeah, absolutely, Scoop. You
man.
know you're welcome on the show, bro.
And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah.
Go hug somebody. Go love somebody. Go see your
Gain
family.
10
Call
pounds
somebody
and
you talked
enjoy
to
it.
in a while. Yeah,
Be
absolutely.
thankful. I kept forgetting to announce the No Shave November thing, but it's almost over, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
But peace, love. Until next time, tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten
Peace
up.
out.
Peace out.